Hey, good morning. Today is going to be a get ready with me. This is actually not going to be a hyperlapse. It is going to be a break. I don't want to say a breakdown because it's not going to be a practice makes perfect video either, but it's just going to be one continuous. We're just going to get ready together. This may be lengthy, but we're going to try to keep this under an hour. So, yeah, let's try to do this. First things first, before I do anything in my routine, I like to prep my lips because y'all know I love to do a matte lip, and matte just sucks all the moisture out of your lips. So I'm prepping with Aquaphor Lip Repair, which has been becoming one of my favorite lip balms, by the way. You can tell because it's almost gone. Like, this is all I got left. This is all I got. This is all I got. Okay, oh. I forgot to unpack my makeup bag last night, so let's do that real quick. And you may hear some noise in the background. Again, I apologize. It is either the AC, it's my TV, or XYZ. So that's what it is. All right, so that's going to go in the makeup bag. And I'm going to do my, some stuff off camera. So I'm going to get my contacts in and all that stuff. So I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. I just remembered, I don't think I said my intro. So welcome back to Makeup with Keisha. I'm Keisha. So let's go ahead. We're going to do, I have an idea. And I really want to do something soft, subtle, very 90s-esque. I know I said that last time and I went in a completely different direction. So this time I promise it's going to be soft, subtle, very 90s-esque, I promise. So, first things first. I literally had like a good amount of time to reach behind me and get those things, and I'm just now doing it. So anyway, but first things first, I always like to start off my routine with my brows. We're of course pulling out our Made by Mitchell curve case, our color case. Yes, this is going to be one of those videos that doesn't have a whole lot of edits in it, because I want you guys to see the raw, the real. And I'm too lazy to actually want to go through all this coverage. So, like I said, this is going to be one of those where it's going to have stops but no edits. So take that as you will. All right. So we're going to pull two angled brushes. One has a spoolie at the end, which we like to have a nice spoolie, and then one is to apply the darker shadow shade. Try that again. First thing we're going to do is we're taking two angled brushes. I like to use angled brushes because I like to, I don't know, an angled brush just helps me get the color on better than just a regular not angled brush. So I'm using two. This is an e.l.f. angled eyeliner brush, and this is a Mange 51 239 brush. So it's got the angled tip and then it's got the spoolie. So I like to use this one to carve out my brow and to apply my product. And I just dropped it into the product. Okay. All right, let's get into this. So let's brush up our brows firstly. I did do all of my skincare stuff off camera. So I moisturized my skin, popped a couple zits, because, you know, it's just be breaking out lately. All right. So first things first, I'm just going to pick up some of the shade Cooler, which is a nice dark brown. I'm going to pick a little bit of that product up, and I like to warm it up on the back of my hand. I don't try to use too much of this because it's a very pigmented item. The cover case these are all gel-based basic color pots. Like, you can use this for anything. You can use it for brows, you can use them for contour, you can use them for lip liner and lipstick. So there's a lot to be, you can use them for primer, like eyeshadow primer or eyeshadow base. I would love to do a whole video where I use just nothing but the curve case. but part of that would require me to do some mixing up to get like my foundation shade, and I don't think I have that type of time. Well, I haven't figured out a day to have that type of time yet, so. Alright, so, and I just did that while I was talking, so I didn't explain what I was doing. So, again, picking up a little bit of that product. And today is going to be like a fill-in brow day. So, first thing I do is we're going to trace the bottom with our bottom line. Just like so, like that. And then we'll take the top, connect it to the bottom. And we're just filling it in. And you don't have to do your brows like I do. If you prefer to do a less of an arch and more like a straight line, you can do that. That's up to you. I like a nice arch. I feel like a nice arch just kind of sets the face. Frames the face, rather. Now, I've been doing my makeup since I was 17. I am now 37. And I am still steadily learning and trying different techniques with some things. I didn't get really good at my makeup till about 2016, when I really started to play with color and stuff like that, and carving out my brow and things like that. Alright, we're going to take our spoolie and we're going to blend this product. So this looks a little messy. This is definitely a 2016 brow. I love a 2016 brow because it just suits my face better. I'm not a fan of soap brows, so I do apologize. Like the soap brow or the thick, bushy, but tame brow is really not, I don't know, just the way they stick them up there, or the laminated brow, is just not my thing. I'm sorry. But that's okay, because not what works for one person may not work for the next person. So I just try to carry that mentality with me. You may hear the AC. I do apologize. Alright, so we're going to pick up the shade Sade, which is this sort of brown caramel color. I love to use this to carve out my brows because it's a beautiful shade. It gives a natural brow lift. And we're going to carve out our shape. So basically, carving out is AKA we're going to clean up the brows. Alright. So my only issue that I'm running into lately is when I'm trying to clean up my brow, some of my natural hair just does not want to stay in place. I tried to wax them. I did wax them, but I didn't do it as clean as I normally do, and I think that's the problem. Because I do have a very prominent brow. It's very thick. So when I let my brows grow out, they can be a bit troublesome because they're hard to tame, which is probably another reason why I don't like the soap brow thing. I can't tame my brows. I'm also keeping today a little bit subtle because when I get off work, I'm going to my niece's birthday party, and I'm looking forward to that. Alright, picking up that Sadie one more time. And we're just going to carve out the top brow. Now, could I use either a foundation or a darker shade to carve out my top brow? I could, but I don't know why I don't. I think it's just muscle memory and force of habit. So let's clean it up. Clean it up. And we follow the rule that your brows are sisters, not twins. Sometimes my brows look like distantly related half sisters. Like, they got the same mom, but their dads are completely different people. Oh gosh. Sorry, y'all may hear some. I feel like I'm feeling the starts of a cold, and I hate that for myself. All right, so as you can see, we've cleaned up that right brow. Let's see what we can do to the left brow. And of course, a hand mirror is always going to be helpful. My hand mirror, this is from Glamlight. This is from the Ghostface collection. This is the first Ghostface collection. There's Ghostface and there's Ghostface Returns. Yeah. All right, so I think that's pretty even. And again, when I do my makeup, it is very therapeutic to me. So I love to listen to my favorite YouTube channels like Debbie James, Brittany Vaughn, Bailey Sarian, Make That Magic when she does her Twilight Zone breakdowns. Those are just so much fun, and I find them relaxing. So. And you're gonna hear me shout out those three particular ones all the time. Oh, for the nostalgia as well. That's another one of my favorites. I just love to hear breakdowns. I don't know if I like to have that noise in the background. It kind of helps me just relax. And this brow is already giving me some issues. I can see it. I can feel it. So let's see if we can just. All right, so I always do this to see because if I like wrinkle my brow and I can like make out the line, that lets me know that they look pretty close in shape. One thing I always had with my eyebrow blindness was one brow would be thicker than the other and I would not notice it because I was just that eyebrow. I had that eyebrow blindness and I did not notice that. So let's clean off her hand. A little water and a little makeup remover wipe. This is a knockoff of the pink makeup remover towel that you may see at like Ulta and Sephora. Alright, so we're going to put these away. I pulled the brow sludge kit, but I did not use it. This is just as great for your brows. It is strictly for brows, but it does wonders. The brows stay all day. I mean, they stay pretty good with this one too, but this... Plus, they have all these different shades just for color brows, for cosplay. You got your browns, you got your ashes, your darks. You got, I think, green, purple, or dark blue. I can't tell right now because I'm tired. It's called Mykonos, so I'm assuming it's blue. A nice pink in there, which as you can see, these have not been touched too much. Yeah, but at any rate, one day I will do some color brows. I have not been brave enough to do that because I'm trying to save it for like a birthday party or a special occasion. A lot of times when I'm doing these makeup looks, it's because I'm going to work. So yeah. All right, let's clear some space. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to grab some double-sided tape. It does not have to be double-sided, but I do want... Actually, you know what? This look doesn't require tape. I just thought about it. It doesn't. Sorry. My bad. We're going to grab some eye products, so give me 1 second. Alrighty, so I pulled a couple brushes, and I'm also going to go ahead and fill up. This is my dirty makeup brush. As you can see, we got a good amount of brushes in there. This is different than the brush from a couple videos down where I did my, I was doing my makeup and I was like, I wonder how long I can go with letting these fill up. I didn't let them fill up because I did clean those brushes. This is a brand new set of dirty brushes. So they're going to go in here. All right, for our products for our eyes today, we're going to be using Juvia's Place. So this is the Eye Prep Eye Prime Eye Primer, and this is the Juvia's Place, the Coffee Shop palette. Has a lot of beautiful browns, neutrals, some metallic and shimmer shades. I'm going to say mostly shimmer shades. So the primary colors I want to focus on are going to be, they don't have names, unfortunately. So this is a nice light brown. this and these two darker browns. So first thing we're going to do is take our eye prep, eye prime, and a brush. I'm just using some, this is eye prep, eye prime in shade 1, which is a very white, flat white base. If you want to wear eyeshadow of any type, you need to have a base or a primer. You need something for the shadow to stick to and to keep the shadow from either creasing up or going everywhere. So some people use concealer. I have to use an actual eyeshadow primer. I have tried using concealer. It does not work for me. If you notice that there's like this much of a gap in my brow, I will be fixing that when I do my foundation, but we'll come back to that. So I'm just taking this is an old BH Cosmetics brush. BH Cosmetics, haven't heard that name in a while. So we're gonna dot on our primer, and I like to take it all the way up to the near the brow. Oh Lord. Don't do what I'm doing. This brush is probably not the best to apply this, but we're gonna make it work. I always like to round out my eyes, so I always do a rounder shape. When I want it to be sharper, that's when I use tape. But right now, today's look is going to be a very soft and 90s inspired look. Because the 90s, for black women particularly, were a lot of browns and, you know, like a nice subtle red lip. Now, my lip is not going to be very subtle, I'm sorry. But me and Mac Ruby Woo, we besties. So we're going to make sure that that lip is... We'll try to keep it soft today. The whole thing is to be soft. To be soft. To be soft as a magnolia and tough as steel. So I do believe that is an old Tennessee Williams quote, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So we've prepped our eyes. And don't worry, this is why we do our eyes first, because any fallout and stuff like that, we're gonna brush it off, and it's gonna be covered with foundation, so it's gonna be fine. Excuse me. Sorry, I should have done this off camera, but I'm looking at it now and it's bugging me. So, I like to keep my work area as clean as possible. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nice little light fluffy brush. This is the ColourPop E15. Cute little fluffy brush. We're going to dip it in that first shade of that light brown. Or just brown. It's a nice warm brown. So I'm going to pop this right in the crease. And I'm using... I know some people do the whole dip. I'm not. First of all, I hate to do that. I really don't like that at all. So I'll dip it in there. I will worry about fallout later. And I'm taking this basically from the brow to the lid. But I'm leaving enough space on the lid where we can apply a little bit of a darker color. So we're doing almost like a brown smoky eye today. Some people do this in reverse, where they do the lid first, then they do the crease in the brow bone. It doesn't. Well, it's up to you. This is the way I'm doing it because I'm talking and I'm not paying attention. So, all right. So that is looking like something. I know it looks weird right now, but we're going to do what? We're going to trust the process. So I'm going to put down a little bit more. Because unfortunately, the one thing that does happen, if you don't set your base or your eyeshadow base, it does get into the creases. So I like to just smooth it out. That way I can continue with what I'm doing. So I'm going to take a flatter brush. This is the label is off. I'm sure this is a BH Cosmetics brush. You can see it's really old. It's very frayed, but it's a nice flat brush. We're going to take it and we're going to dip it in this brown, that darker brown. Again, they don't have names. I apologize. They don't have names. I'm sorry. I'm just patting that color, and then we're just going to pat it on the lid. And I'm going to take this all the way. I'm not going to take it all the way up, but I'm going to take it upward to the crease. All right. Oof. I was putting too much pressure. I think I just poked myself in the eye. All right. So, don't be in a hurry when you do this. Take your time. So I'm just patting this all over. I don't like to drag the brush. I like to pat. The reason why we don't drag is because, one, I want to pack in that color because I want that color payoff. And then two, when you're dragging a dry product across a wet one, it becomes muddled and it becomes muddy, and it does not do what you want it to do. So I do recommend doing your makeup in an old t-shirt or something that you don't care if it gets stained, because I know me, and I definitely have had some days where I've had powder fall off, fallout, eyeshadow fallout. So that's why I usually see me do this in my pajamas or a designated t-shirt or something. So we're going to put our flat brush down. We're going to pick up the E16 again, or E15 again, and we're going to buff out those edges. We're not adding any additional product. We're just buffing out and softening up those edges. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take the same brush and dip it into a different product in just a minute. And all right, and we're doing those soft circles. We could do this, the windshield wiper, but it's just not going to give us that buffness that we want. All right, so we're going to take our last shade, and I told you 3 shades. This is what we're doing. So this is what we got so far. It's a nice brown, smoky eye, if you will. We're going to take the last shade, which is this is darker brown here. And notice that I'm using it I try to go light to dark in my routine. And we're just going to pop this gently on the crease and the outer corner. I'm not going to take it all the way inward. We're just going to take about halfway. And that just gives us our little bit of smoke in the eye. A smoky eye is basically, it can be colorful, it can be subtle, it can be whatever you choose to be. It just, you have to take your time with it though. And this helps kind of deepen out. Using a darker shade kind of deepens out the eyes, gives it depth. I learned my makeup by the old school way. I grew up with YouTube, so I listened to a lot of Jackie Ina, a lot of Nikki tutorials, Michelle Phan. Lately, it's been like Wayne Goss, who does some really great makeup routines. There's one more, Robert Welsh, I believe his name is, who does some very beautiful, beautiful makeup. He gives some really great reviews. I love him. But this is what this is the end result, the partially end result. So your eye should look something like this. We're doing very soft. Like on the camera's not picking up as beautiful as I'd like it to, but I'm just filming off my phone. I'm not a professional. So that is going to consist. Sorry. All right. So that is going to be the bulk of our eyes. We're going to do liner. Now, the 90s, they did not reach for the liquid eyeliner a lot. It was mainly a soft black or brown eye pencil. I can't. I'm sorry, but I can't. Because I know me, and that is going to move everywhere. So we are going to do a little bit of a winged eye today because, let me not knock stuff over. So, first thing I like to do, because my eyelashes curl inward, I like to use an eyelash curler, but in reverse. So I'm going to uncurl my lashes because we're not going to do lashes today. Uh, to be perfectly frank, I want to give my eyes a little bit of a break from lashes. We will do a lash day probably Monday. It just won't be today. All right, and we're still making good on time, although I better get a move on. All right, so we're using the NYX Epic Ink liner, which is my favorite liner. And we're not going to do too much. We're just going to draw a line. We do short strokes. And I'm just going to draw a very small wing. Just like that. From the tail, take the tail, grab it, and drag it back. Alright, so that was not... it's okay. Alright, so that is our winged eyeliner today. Very soft, very subtle. Ooh, it is already... Sorry, I'm looking at the clock. I got 45 minutes. I got time. Alright, so this one we're going to do another wing. Sorry, I was focusing and I stopped talking. Thank you, Debney James, for taking over for commentary. But my eyeliner lately has been either really good or really bad. I really wish there was a way I could just stamp from one eye to the next, but unfortunately, we're not blessed with that technology. So all right, so I think that's pretty good. What do you guys think? Yeah, no, that's not pretty good. Okay, let's try this again. All right, there we go. We finally got that tail to do what we wanted to do. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Liquid eyeliner it can be tricky. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of time, and it's a hit or a miss. Sometimes my eyeliner looks like boom, 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 we got it, we got it. And then other times it's like, what happened? We've reached Amy Winehouse territory. That's not a diss or dig at Miss Amy Winehouse, may she rest in peace. But having that high of a eyeliner is just not my style. And again, that's what we talk about. That's what I mean when I say it's not my style. That does not fit my face. It would not fit my face. So we don't do things that are not going to fit us personally. So, all right, let's do. Moving on to foundation. I'm grabbing all my products because I can't find anything today. All right, so we're using e.l.f. Power Grip. We're using Maybelline Fit Me loose setting or finishing powder, I beg your pardon, in 40 Dark. And this is a combination of two foundations that are now in a little takeaway container. It is a combination. I may have already scrapped it out and threw it out. So it's the Ulta Beauty Velvet foundation. It's a little bit of the Ulta Beauty Complexion Crush and a little bit of leftover Euphoria foundation. The Euphoria foundation was actually way too light, so I just mixed it up with some others. It has great staying power, but um, the brand itself is a bit of garbage because I don't know if you guys remember that whole controversy with Euphoria where they were asked for deeper shades and basically gave black face paint for darker shades, and it was no undertone. It was just a matte black. Like I could have taken some acrylic paint and just swatched it on my face for that. I am trying to finish up the last of my grip in the smaller container. And I know you're probably wondering, like, how many squirts was that? That was like easily 5 or 6. The reason why I do so much is because I want, first of all, there's a lot of flesh to cover, okay? I got a double chin and I have a big face. I have a round face. And I want to make sure all of this is covered. So that's why I use so much. And again, also, I forgot to mention, make sure you have a rag because your hands are going to get sticky. They're going to get dirty. Make sure you have something to clean your fingers off with. All right, so we've prepped our face with some primer. By now, if you did all your makeup routine at the beginning of the video, then your moisturizer and all those things should be well absorbed. So you should be able to now apply product and it should stay without moving everywhere. Excuse me. Ugh, God Lord, I hate that. Alright, so for my foundation, to apply it, we're using a P. Louise. This is the F29. It's a flat top foundation brush, or a flat top brush. I'm just going to dip it in this concoction of foundation. And we're just going to... And I love a good full coverage foundation. This one, it's so full coverage, like, we just need a little bit and we work off of what we have before we dip it back in. Like, I want to buff all this out. I'm doing like a bounce thing. And I alternate between bouncing and sort of the circle movements. I try very hard not to... I'm doing exactly what I say I'm trying not to do. I hate to grip it this way, like at the ferrule, but sometimes you need it, so. And I'm almost grinding this into my skin a little bit because I need it to last, and I have extremely oily skin. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever actually seen how oily my skin gets at the end of the day, but she an oily gal, so. All right, and I think we're coming up on about, this is about 33 minutes. We're at the 33-minute mark. I said I was going to keep this under an hour, and I believe I'll be successful if I don't talk too much. Of course, we want to take it down to the neck, because your neck, your face, and your body should match. At least, it depends on what you're wearing. Me, personally, a lot of what I wear is going to cover most of my neck and my chest. But I still like to make sure that they match. They have some cohesion there. All right. This is not going to be one of those days where we do a lot of highlighting and contouring, unfortunately, because I'm going to work. I like to save my highlighting and contouring days because those products, I mean, they're not super expensive, but they're not cheap either. And I don't want to contour and highlight every day. I try to reserve those for days that I have something special going on. And I've also allowed myself the ample amount of time to apply those things. Because that's where your makeup routine can go from like 30 minutes to an hour, hour and a half. And I did not wake up and allot myself that time. I gave myself an hour to get ready and be out the door. All right, so this is where I just take a smaller flat brush and I'm just kind of cleaning up. using foundation to hide those lighter areas where we applied the Made by Mitchell color case, so that those brows, we don't have that halo brow effect. Nobody wants a halo brow. That is a big faux pas. We do not want halo brows. Hello brows. All right, one more dip into the sauce, and we're just gonna finish up our neck. Apparently, I picked the purge kill count on Dead Meat James, because that's all that's been coming up is purge videos. And I don't know if you guys have ever watched Dead Meat James. Shout out to Dead Meat James. You probably don't even know who I am. But he does the kill count on YouTube, which basically they go over facts and they count up the dead bodies of horror films. I discovered him back in, I want to say, 2020. And I've been listening to him ever since. I love to hear his and Chelsea and Zoran's, I forgot his name for a second, their commentary on horror movies and the like. Zoran does a video game kill count. I'm really not into video games, although I have been like fighting the urge to buy like a PS2 and play Grand Theft Auto, particularly Vice City, because I loved playing that as a kid, because my brother was really into video games. I wasn't, but once in a while I would just play his safe game. Alright, so we're going to take our Maybelline powder. I like to just do this, get some of it out on the lid, or, okay, we're going to flip it back over, open it. Now we have our powder. Because it does have a sifted thing, so we're not getting all the powder at once. We're going to take a huge but dirty powder puff. Look, I don't want to, I will use the same powder puff for a week. So you may have seen this pink monstrosity in several videos before this. So I know you guys have probably wondered we're packing on our powder. Before I get into my next thought, we're packing on our powder. Like I said, I'm a real oily girl. So we want to pack it on in pieces, in parts. So we're not doing that. We're packing it on the face. This is why I say make sure you wear something you don't mind getting dirty, because I see the fallout already. And I'm just taking my powder puff. And that's another reason why I'm not a fan of this container, because it doesn't have as much. It's kind of restrictive, so this is why I like to move everything to a container like this. That's the way I can get in there. Because this is the same powder, I can just dip in there a little bit better. Anyway, but yeah, I like to just press that powder in. We're pressing it in because, for one, this is a little bit of an old school Hollywood thing where they would press the powder into the foundation. So I'm not just like dabbing it on, I am doing actually like a pressing thing, but because I've gotten so used to doing this over many, many years, I can press and do it quickly and efficiently. All right. All right. So we're gonna, while we're doing our quick bake, I hate the fact that I had to do that. That was a waste of powder. I just got powder all over my my boodle. My boodle. Wow. I'm tired. Alright. All over my vanity desk. So that's alright. So while that's baking, So right now we're just doing a bake. We're just going to let the powder sit on our foundation and kind of absorb up. While we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and apply our mascara. This is the Wrap Lash Mega Extension and Volume Tubing Mascara from Revolution Beauty. And it's one of my favorites. We're going to start with the bottom lash first. And we're just going to coat our lashes. Just like so, like that. Why am I quoting Tabitha Brown? I don't know. But this is one of my favorite mascaras because it's a tubing mascara, so it makes your natural lashes look longer and thicker without the use of eyelashes, like falsies, you know. You know what I'm trying to say. Alright, and again, bottom lash. I do the bottom lashes first because if you do your top lash and then you do your bottom lash while you're looking down, that mascara is going to get on your lid. So do your bottom lash first. And another reason why I don't do lashes every single day is because lashes can, depending on your application, if you're not removing them and applying them correctly, you can lose a lot of your natural lashes. Like I had to take basically like a 6-month break from lashes because I was losing them so badly. So I just took a break to let my natural lashes grow back. And now I'm back to doing lashes again. But it doesn't hurt to take a break because it does, after a while, the glue and stuff, you just take a break. Give your lashes a break. All right. So we got our mascara done. Last step is going to be the lips. Well, we're going to dust off and then apply some. That's what I forgot to do because I was talking. I meant to use my Tier setting spray between foundation and before I do my powder. That also is another great tip, to use a setting spray between layers to help everything stay, but I was talking and I forgot. So we're going to use my favorite lip combination. This is the GOAT. It is my favorite. It'll probably always be my favorite, but this is MAC. This is a MAC Night Moth and Ruby Woo. Night Moth is a very blackened cherry, blackened plum, I guess. Where is... Okay, give me a second while I look for my freaking, I'll be back. I can't find my eyeliner pencil. I mean, my, pencil sharpener. I found it. It's so annoying how this little bugger keeps moving everywhere. Alright, so we're going to take Night Moth and we're going to line our lips. Alright. Alright. And I like to take the end of my liner and kind of blend in. Soften up that inner line. I cannot remember who I saw do this. I saw someone do this and I thought, that's freaking genius. Why haven't I thought about that? Because I would just press my lips together forever and a day until that line was like blurred. So we're going to take our Ruby Woo. This is that beautiful Ruby Woo, which is a beautiful blue-based red. And apply that. And another reason why I love this shade, that is so beautiful. That is so gorgeous. And it smells like vanilla, like a cupcake. So it's good. It's got great staying power as well. So that's another reason why I really, really love that particular shade. The staying power, whether it's the liquid form or the the solid regular lipstick, the color stay, the color power, color payoff and the staying power are great. Before I dust off the rest, I am going to hit my face off with just a little bit of blush. So we're going to take our press curve case, curve case. This is the curve case, but this is the press curve case, made by Mitchell, of course. And we're just going to take a P. Louise F28, and we're going to dip it in Cowlick, which is this beautiful bright pink. And I'm just going to hit it not quite at the apple, like this is the apple, but just off to the side. I like just a flush of color, not too much. And I do like to take it just a little bit to the temple, almost like a very 80s style. Blush placement. I couldn't think of the words. All right, we are entering some territory where I'm running a little bit behind schedule, so let's get a grip, get on moving here. All right. Last thing we're gonna do to finish, we've hit it off with a little blush. Let's go ahead and take a nice fluffy brush. This is the ColourPop F18. I'm gonna buff off the extra powder. Alright, and now setting it with some setting spray. Whew. Handy dandy fan. So yeah, I gave myself an hour to get ready, and that hour flew by incredibly quickly. So, but this is the look that we're going for. Very something soft, not too much. This is a very good everyday look that I like to do. Inspired by the 90s, where we did a lot of browns with the brown shadow. We did use a little pink, little rouge, very soft with the red lip. I probably could have done a little bit of contouring, but I did not allow a lot to that time for myself. So let's go ahead, pop on a wig. Alright, we're going to pack up our touch-up powder and our brush, and we're just going to get our wig together. I was doing brown for a couple days, but we're going back to red because my brown wig is in curlers right now, sitting off camera to me because it needs to be, the curlers are still wet. I soaked it in some hot water and some curlers last night to try to reshape it. I noticed some of the ends were looking a little rough. So this is just a combination of water and fabric softener to help kind of detangle the nap of my wig where it resides in the back of my neck, because, you know, we don't want to have those naps. And I'm very loosely just detangling around the perimeter. She's a little tangly. Probably I should spend more time detangling my wigs, but I have not allotted the time to do so. I have been like reading Haunting Adeline. I started on it literally Wednesday, and I'm already to chapter 9, and it is Saturday. No, I started on it Thursday, and I'm already on to chapter 19. I beg your pardon, and it is just, if you're into dark fantasy or dark romance, and you're into some stalker cat and mouse, and some really effed up stuff. Yeah, but just keep in mind it does have trigger warnings. So if your mental health comes first, if you're sensitive to that type of thing, do not. But it has motivated me to realize that when I do write, I'm not writing to my full potential, because I would edit myself a lot and take out things that I thought were too far or too much, and I'm not writing to my potential. So I was like, because I'm reading this, I'm like, this Haunting Adeline compared to what I wrote is comparing like 50 Shades of Grey to the Bible. That's the nicest way I can say it, because what I wrote is nothing compared to what is in this book. So anyway, all right, but we are good to go. We've got our wig on. We look cute. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this full one take, no cuts, no edits video. I have to hurry up and get dressed because I have to be at work in approximately 23 minutes, and I need to spend at least 10 of those putting on clothes. So, love you, bye.